Hello everyone, Choppybo here bringing you this exciting new brand guide. In this video I'm gonna teach you how to make your match history go from this to this. Oh, and just a disclaimer, at this time Riot is planning to remove runes from the game, so when they actually do it, I'm gonna update the rune mastery thing they create in the description below so this video stays relevant throughout the whole season. So since we're talking about the runes so much, here's my rune page while runes still exist. Nothing special, just your standard AP runes. For the masteries, you'll want your tree to look a little something like this. The Deathfire Touch Keystone mastery is very important here, because your passive and all your skills will trigger it again and again and again and again and again. Come on, it's Brand, a fire champion. Death, fire, touch. The whole theme of burning the enemy down. You'll see what I mean when we get to the build itself. Brand is an amazing champion and you can play him practically anywhere, but he's mostly picked as a support or as a mid laner. While he's really strong at 1v1s, the big team fights is where he really shines. He can explode squishy carries in the blink of an eye, burn down heavy tanks in a matter of seconds, and annihilate the whole enemy team in a well-positioned battle. Thus begins the explanation of why Brand is so great. So let's start with the passive, Blaze. All Brand's abilities set the target on fire, while burning, enemies take 2% of their maximum health as magic damage. This passive is stackable up to 3 times. On the third stack, the poor guy is marked with a circle around him. After 2 seconds, the circle explodes, dealing roughly 15% of the target's maximum health and damages every enemy inside the mark. If the enemy manages to die before the detonation, the passive will continue to damage the surrounding foes. Sounds OP already? That's only the passive. Brand's Q is called Seer. It's a skill shot which deals magic damage, applies the passive, and if the passive is already blazing, it stuns him for 1.5 seconds. This makes landing other skill shots, like your W, extremely easy. The W is called Pillar of Flame. It marks a circle on the ground, and after about half a second the area catches fire, dealing a big chunk of magic damage. Obviously it applies the passive, and if the target is already burning, it deals 25% increased damage. The E, Conflagration, sets the target on fire. Basically, it's an extremely simple way to apply your passive, but if the target is already blazed, Conflagration spreads your passive to surrounding enemies. Finally, Brand's ultimate ability is called Pyroclasm, and it's the main reason why he's so amazing in big team fights. It deals magic damage to the target, applies your passive, and bounces between your enemies up to 4 times. If the targets are blazed, Pyroclasm slows them down. Oh, and even if you use your ult on a person and they activate Zonias or other untargetable ability, and there are no other targets for Pyroclasm to bounce around, it refunds your mana and your cooldown. So yeah, these 4 abilities are bound to make you the top damage dealer even if you're supporting. The item build is pretty straightforward. If you're playing as a support, pick up the blue support item, Spell Thief's Edge. It will be triggered by your passive and will make you rich really quick. Even quicker if you upgrade it to Frostfang. And combine it with your Sidestone to the Eye of the Watcher later in game. In lane, don't be afraid to be aggressive, you have the damage to back it up. And don't feel guilty if you take a few kills from your AD carry. The 2 core items you want to get as soon as possible are Liandry's Torment and Rylai's Crystal Scepter. And here's why. The mask gives you 300 health, 80 AP, 15 magic penetration, and a passive called Eyes of Pain, which is triggered by landing your abilities. It deals 2% of the enemy's max health over 3 seconds as magic damage, and if the enemy is movement impaired, it doubles up to 4% of their maximum health. The 4% can be triggered by your ultimate ability if they have your passive on them, or by the second item on our core build, which is the Rylai's Crystal Scepter. It slows the enemy down by 20% for 1 second while they're being damaged by your abilities. By your passive, These two items combined with your passive and the Deathfire Touch Keystone Mastery provide you with enough power to burn down even the tankiest of foes. For boots, you'll want the Sorcerer Shoes for that sweet magic penetration. Later on, if the enemy is building magic resist, invest in a Void Staff. If not, don't hesitate building a Rabadon's Death Cap. It will amplify your damaging abilities immensely. If you have the funds, get both. If the enemy team is full of assassins, consider buying a Zonia's Hourglass. The basic combo is E, Q, W and R. In team fights, try to land your 2 skill shots as often as you can. And if the enemy team is grouped, don't hesitate to pop your ult. Use your Sightstone to place wards. You'd be amazed of how easy it is to catch a lonely AD carry running around in a warded jungle. And that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and consider subscribing. Bye!